Okay. So could you please tell me about your today's protest about like farmland?
Well, I'm here because I am concerned about the future Waterloo region. I'm concerned about the environment. I'm concerned about having prime agricultural farmland taken out of the system without any consultation or process. And I think it's time that Waterloo Regional Council stood up, stepped forward, and said, no, we're going to hold the line.
Do you think like Premier Ford is going to stand up for you? But he says that he does not want like there should be industrial like development on this that land. You know, like where.
I have a very hard time believing Dark Floyd when he talks about the environment and about protecting our land. This is the same man, the same government that tried to pull a fast one by developing the Greenbelt and only stopped when he got caught because it was going to help his rich friends. Now he's trying to do it through the back door, through such as trying to get Waterloo Region to do his dirty work for him.
Yeah. And like Waterloo Region Council. So do you expect they are going to do something like because like
Well, given the number of people here today, I think it's far past time that Waterloo Region stood up to Doug Ford and told him that they're going to hold the line. We're going to stick to our Made in Waterloo Region plan, and we're not going to allow him to force us to give up some of our prime farmland that we need for the future.
And so, do you have any support from any political parties or from any elected officials? Do you have any support for this protest? Like
Well,
I know, like
I'm here as an individual.
so you are not from from the organized group.
Well, I'm part of the organized group that cares about the fight for the farmland. Yeah.
But you particularly did not hear anything from any elected official, or from any political parties that we are with you.
Well, there's a broad range of people from different political stripes here. What we have in common is that we care about the future Waterloo Region's environment and farmland.
Yeah, but again, I'm going to ask you repeat the same question. But there is no elected official is supporting this protest. Like you did not hear anything from elected officials.
I've heard things. I read the media. I've seen elected officials say things. I'm not here because of an elected official.
But they did not hear. But they did not say that. Yes, we are with you. We do support. Like.
I don't know. Mike Schreiner from the Green Party is here. Elizabeth. Or Catherine Fife from the NDP is here. There are politicians here who support standing up to Doug Ford.
So these politicians are here today, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
And there may be more. Those are two I've seen.
So what's your message to elected officials?
I don't know what else to say. We have to stand up to Doug Ford and tell him that we want our Made in Waterloo plan, which includes a strong countryside line that protects this prime farmland that now he wants Division of Waterloo to buy for him so it can be developed.
This one, okay.
So,
yeah, okay. Thank you so much.
And integrity, all they get is silence and no accountability. Help me out. We gotta fight for farmland, Wilmot rural roots. You take away the farm and you take away the food. 770 acres don't seem like much to some, but where's your food coming from? Someone suggested it was just a real estate deal. Don't tell that to the farmer as he grows your next meal. We gotta fight for farmland, Wilmot rural roots. You take away the farm and you take away the food. 770 acres don't seem like much to some, but where's your food coming from? Coming from Wilmot farmland.
Awesome.
Red tape fight, right?
What I always is surprised with, how you just came up with that just overnight almost. It was amazing.
I was pretty angry.
We were pretty angry, as we all were.
Yeah.
Okay, I mentioned there were a number of people, some information coming forward. I'd like to invite Mike Schreiner, who is the leader of the Green Party, to come to the stage for a few words.
Whoa, give it up for Pumpkin Steve!
So please tell about this farmland protest. Like what is it all about?
Okay, so there are a group of farmers in Wilmot, the township of Wilmot in the region of Waterloo, that a developer came and offered them money, a low offer for their farmland, and then they wondered what was going on. They weren't interested in selling. Most of them have been farming for generations on their land. And then another offer came through, and they started talking to each other. So they realized that it was a coordinated effort. And they started asking questions, and no one was providing them with any information. So a big part of why they're protesting is they don't have information about why they're doing this, why they're taking prime farmland and assembling it for industrial purposes. There isn't adequate water or sewage. There are a lot of issues. It's not close to transit. It's not close to existing highways. So there are many, many issues, and they just simply can't get answers, either from the township of Wilmot or the region of Waterloo or the provincial government either. They're all apparently have signed non-disclosure agreements that prevent them from providing the farmers with any information. So a lot of this is trying to get answers to the questions. They're not, the big thing that happened is in April, Premier Doug Ford came to Kitchener and he said that they don't want to do this if the community's not willing. So Wilmot is pulling together and trying to get as much support, obviously, to communicate with the government that they're not a willing host. So here we are. They brought the farmers right into the city because there's a council meeting tonight. It's okay.
Please go.
Oh, okay, sorry. I didn't know if you were.
I think it's okay. And so they're just going to also send that message to council in the council meeting tonight.
But it seems like the council is do you think like council is interested to listening you guys? Like it seems like what
so far they're just silent. They're silent. They're not providing answers. There was a lot of time when the region was blaming the province and the province was blaming the region, and they just wasted a lot of time blaming each other and not providing the farmers with any information. So the farmers are just incredibly frustrated. So they're just going to keep going. They're very persistent people.
Yeah, but do you hear anything from federal government? Are they sharing any views? They are going to interview this thing, or are they going to push Ontario government to stop what they are doing, what farmers are calling?
They're just trying to get more and more public support and to put pressure on all levels of government and just keep going. They're not going to give up. The initial offer was supposed to be that they were supposed to take the offer within 10 days. This was in March. And so far, out of however many properties, there's only, I think, 2 or 3 that have sold. Most of the farmers are determined to retain their land and stay on their land. So they're going to keep going. And once there is a compelling, systematic process that's transparent, where they've consulted with the public, that's an entirely different situation. Because we had, in the region of Waterloo, there's a regional official plan. None of this development was contemplated ever in a regional official plan. But the farmers are open to that if they do this open, transparent process, and then they can show the reasons for selection of the land. That's not what's going on. Does that help you?
Yeah. And but it seems like the bottom line is like this. So each level of politicians are just blaming each other. Like it means the provincial is pointing finger on the council, like regional council is pointing finger to the provincial. It means they are not serious, or I would say they are not going to listen to you, like to the farmers who are fighting for farmland, but they are just keep criticizing each other, and it seems like we don't come to a solution.
Well, I think that the farmers are gaining more public support. As people learn about this, the public outcry will get louder, and eventually they have to listen. If they want to keep their jobs, if they want to be reelected, they're going to have to change their position, I think.
But do you think like the regional council is going to listen to you guys?
Well, the farmers aren't going to give up. They're not going to be. They're not going to give in. So when it comes to re-election time, which would be probably 2026, people have a long enough memory to know. And if they go ahead with expropriation, they definitely will lose their jobs. Expropriating land for a private industry deal isn't what expropriation is meant for. It's an abuse. So.
Yeah, and I have another question. So what's your next step if you don't if they don't listen?
The plan is to go again, continue to work with Wilmot Council, and try and convince them to put forward a motion that declares that Wilmot is an unwilling host. That's in September. That's the next council meeting, and it'll just keep going, and we get more and more people. The mayor of Township of Wilmot has claimed she hasn't heard anybody opposed to the project. So there needs to be people that send clear messages, and I think that's what we're going to encourage people to do.
So the township mayor it is supporting what you are doing, or it is opposing? Like township mayor, she is not supporting.
She seems to be leaning towards the province's position right now, but that's not what she ran on. When she ran for mayor, she claimed she was going to be open and transparent and respond to people's needs. So she has to get a message. Sooner or later, she's going to have to acknowledge that people oppose this.
Yeah, okay. And what's your message to elected officials, to Doug Ford or other elected officials like?
A very strong message to Doug Ford. There's hundreds of people here, over 45 tractors that farmers have taken their time and energy to drive into Kitchener downtown to send a very clear message to all levels of government that they oppose this. So Wilmot is not a willing host for this.
and when should we expect your next step?
I'm not 100%. I think it's around September 9th, or maybe the middle of September is the next meeting when there would be a potential another rally. But in the meantime, people are going to be writing to their elected representatives, making phone calls, sending emails. We just keep going. We're not easily deterred.
Okay. And good luck, and thank you so much for talking.
I told him ever since Monday night I've been playing this nonstop on Apple iTunes, so I think I made him 50 cents or something. Thank you all for being here tonight to send Doug Ford a clear message. Keep your hands off our farmland, starting right here in Wilmot Township. Yeah, you know what? The Premier, his Energy Minister today said, you know what? We're going to protect farmland from solar panels. And I agree with him on that. But we got to protect farmland from the Premier himself. And it's going to take the people power that's right here tonight in Waterloo Region. We're losing 319 acres of farmland each and every day in the province of Ontario. And if you think about it, that's the size of the city of Toronto on an annualized basis. It is simply not sustainable. That is why we need legislation that permanently protects prime farmland in the province of Ontario. Waterloo Region had an amazing plan with a countryside line to protect farmland in this province. And now the Premier is saying, you know what? Assemble land, expropriate land, take it away from farmers, which as Punkadoodle Steve says means taking food away from all of us. We have to put a stop to it. Not only the 770 acres in Wilmot, but the 6,400 acres he's imposing on boundary expansions in Waterloo Region and the thousands of farmland he's attacking across the province. Because I don't know about the rest of you, but I like to eat. I don't know about the rest of you, but I like what the NFU banner over there says, saying, without farmers, we go hungry, we go naked, and we go sober. I don't want any of that to happen. Not here in Ontario. You know, I'm not against jobs. I'm all for jobs. Like the 850,000 jobs in the food and farming economy. The $50 billion that Ontario farmers provide to our economy. That's what's under threat here. There's plenty of land throughout Waterloo region and across the province where we can build factories, but not on Alfred's land, not on the 770 acres of prime farmland in Wilmot. You know what? That is some of the best land in all of the world, all of North America. Yeah, even our bus drivers agree with us. They like to eat too. So we have some of the best farmland in the world. We definitely have the best farmers in the world. We have access to more clean water in the world, right here in Southern Ontario. So when I look at the droughts, when I look at the floods, when I look at the way world food supplies are threatened, the world needs Ontario. The world needs our farmland, our farmers, and our food. And we need a premier that recognizes the value these farmers make to our communities, our economy, and our food security. So there will be people who will tell you this is a done deal. Do not listen to them. This is not a done deal because you, the people of Ontario, are sending a clear message to Doug Ford to keep his hands off Wilmot and the hands off our farmland. About 15 years ago, a Boston hedge fund went up to Wilmot Township and said, we're going to build the largest open pit aggregate mine in the world on some of the best potato growing land in North America. And the farmers said no. Urban folk joined them and said no, and the Boston hedge fund left Ontario with its tail between its legs. A year and a half ago, people called me up and said, Mike, we appreciate the fight you are engaging in protecting the Greenbelt and the farmland in the Greenbelt. But you know what? We think it's a done deal. We think the Premier's won. There is no way we're going to stop this with a majority Conservative government. And you, the people of Ontario, said, we will not give up the fight, and Doug Ford backed down because people said our Greenbelt, our farmland, and our wetlands are worth protecting. So that's exactly what's going to happen here. So my commitment to you, Ashland Clancy and I are committed to working with you and working across party lines with the other opposition parties to fight like hell. Because when we fight, we win. And we will win this fight together. So don't give up. Don't let anybody tell you it's a done deal, because we're going to protect the 770 acres. I would be mad as hell if somebody was taking my family farm away. I'm going to stand with Alfred. I'm going to stand with my cheese buddies over here, and we're going to say no to taking Wilmot's farmland away. Keep up the good fight, my friends. We're here with you every step of the way.
Mike, thanks so much. That's a great way to start things off. Also, we're going to have a lot of people coming forward. I'd like to bring Mark Reeser forward now with the Waterloo Federation of Agriculture.
Good evening, everybody. It is so gratifying.
So first of all, if you don't mind, I know like you were like speaking down there,
Yes.
and you talked about this one.
Yes.
And if you don't mind, if you just generally tell about yourself before we begin about my.
My name is Mark Reeser. I'm a farmer from Wilmot Township. I grow turkey and I grow grain and soybeans and corn. I have been concerned about this situation for years. I am a director with the Waterloo Federation of Agriculture. And so an issue like this can change forever farming in Wilmot Township. This is not in our official plan. This came down from the province, and we think it came. We are certain that it came down without proper planning and without proper procedure. And it is sad to see prime farmland, some of the best farmland in the entire world, plowed under and then paved over, never to produce food again. It's especially disturbing that 160 acres of corn that was used to feed people, shredded and plowed down at a significant cost. That happening when people in this very region are food insecure.
Yep.
How can a government, how can a person make a decision to do that in good conscience? It is truly unfortunate that we destroy food at a time when people are food insecure.
Yes.
Could we not have utilized the money that we spent to destroy that corn crop, plus the value of the corn crop,
Yep.
to provide meals for people throughout Waterloo region?
So it is about what? Is it about money, like the Walnut Township is receiving, or the provincial government is receiving, or it is about a lake of land somewhere else, like they are destroying just where we have a great farmland?
I think the issue that concerns us the most is that this land is special. This is some of the best land in the world. We live in a wonderful place here in southwestern Ontario.
Yes.
It has a wonderful climate. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It usually rains.
Yeah.
The soil's wonderful. The farmers are good. We can grow a longer list of fruits, vegetables, grains, and livestock
Yeah.
than anywhere else in North America. Is that land not worth protecting?
Yes.
Are there not other places where you can build a factory? And I'll answer the question, yes, there are.
Yes.
You can build a building anywhere.
Yeah.
You can build a factory anywhere. You can build housing anywhere. You can't replicate prime farmland. It's a non-renewable natural resource. When it's gone forever. On the other hand, if you look after that farmland,
Yeah.
it can produce food in perpetuity, forever.
Yeah.
Sad to see it go.
But why do you think the government is keep pushing for this particular land? What's the reason behind it?
I think the government sees a shiny object, that being the possibility of perhaps an auto plant or a battery plant or something like that. They have instructed municipalities throughout Ontario to find a place for them, a location. Unfortunately, that didn't actually happen in Waterloo region, in that they chose the location, not us.
Yeah.
We have a history here in Waterloo region of doing things correctly, following our official plan, consulting with the people on a regular basis, so that when we come to a decision, it's a decision that's made by everyone, not just someone in Queen's Park.
Yeah. But do you think I know like township already said that it seems like they are just, maybe they are not serious about it, or maybe they are lack of power, But my question is, like, do you think the regional council is going to listen you? Like it seems like Doug Ford already cleared the message. So
Well, I, like many other people, like to see leadership. And when a wrong decision is made, no matter where in government, when people object and say this is wrong, our representatives, the people we elect, have a responsibility to stand up and show leadership and say, hey, this is wrong. Let's not do it. I don't care what you asked us to do.
Yeah.
We're not doing it. We'll do it our way. Here in Waterloo region, if we're asked to do something, we'll do it in the way we've done it for the last 30 to 50 years. and we'll do it using correct procedure. We'll do it using our official plan, and we'll do it in a way that the community can get behind, rather than dividing a community and having someone dictate what we should do. I, like many farmers, are not a big fan of bullies. I don't like to be bullied, and I don't like to see other people bullied. And in this case, I see the government being a bully, and I think that's wrong. And the Premier needs to be called out and say, hey, you've made a mistake. Fix your mistake. Let us do the things we've done it in the past, because we've done it well. This is a desirable place to live. We've always accommodated all the people who came here. We've built a wonderful, dynamic, innovative, productive, prosperous community, and saved farmland at the same time. And we'll do that again if you let us.
And so what's your prediction? So are they going to listen? If not, so what's your next step?
Well, it's easy to get down. I try to be optimistic. Farmers are optimists. You know, we plant a crop and we expect it's going to rain, and the sun's going to come out, and the crop's going to grow, and we're going to make money in the end. We do that every single year, no matter what happened the year before. I am optimistic that in a situation like this, when politicians see that people really care, perhaps they'll take notice and do the right thing. How's that?
That's correct. And what's your just last final thought? What's your message to Doug Ford or Ontario government or other elected officials?
But my message to the Premier and to the province of Ontario is, hey, we have never said that there shouldn't be a place for housing. We have never said there shouldn't be a place for employment lands. What we've said is follow the process. Ask us to do it. We'll do it in the way we've always done it, and we'll do it well. Don't know what else to say.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything like that before. Probably never will again. That's great. Wait for a few people to gather around here. We'll do like a few presentations. My name is Alfred Lorick, and the spokesperson for the Fight for Farmland group. And so thank you. I think we have more police officers here in our first meeting. So I am so happy that we're seeing this.
Many people in the city of Kitchener supporting what we need and what we do. You may live in the city, but you eat, and we provide food. And it is special when people recognize that, because often we don't get very much attention. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you to the farmers who came and spent a day from their work to drive in here, because that's actually a big deal. Thank you.
Funky Doodle Steve and Mike Schreiner have taken away some of my thunder. But I'll attempt to say something new anyway. We live in a special place here in Ontario. We have a wonderful climate. There's not too much rain. There's not too little rain. It's usually the right temperature. This climate is modified by 3 Great Lakes. It's a special place in the world. We can grow a longer list of fruits, vegetables, grains, and livestock than anywhere else in North America, with the exception of California, and they have to get their water from somewhere else. This is a special place, all of it, and be glad you live here. And if we don't protect it, it will disappear. So what are we asking for from our municipality and this municipality and from the province? Lay off prime farmland in Ontario. It's special. Utilize the planning process that we already have, called our official plan, and do things right. That's like a salute from a motorcycle. I love it. We have an official plan. We have planned well traditionally here in Waterloo Region. It is so disheartening when your official plan falls apart and your politicians don't support the plan that they unanimously agreed on over a year ago. Sad but true. So what can you do? Well, you can come to an event like this, but you can also phone the people that represent you. And even if you live in the city, you're represented by a regional counselor who's going to meet in that building in less than an hour. Tell them what you think, share with them, send them an email, send them a text, phone them, stop them on the street and say, hey, I'm concerned, you represent me, do it in the council chambers. And I would say the same thing to your provincial member of parliament, whoever they might be. Mike who, yes. You know what? We're not children. We're citizens of this country, citizens of this municipality, and our voices need to be heard, and our representatives need to hear from us. So I'll close with this. I'm a farmer. I love being a farmer. I love the land. I love producing food. I feel at home when I'm working in the earth and when I'm growing things for other people. I love this place. I love this region. And I know you do too, or you wouldn't be here. So let's fight to keep what is good. And I'll end with that. Thank you so much for coming.
Mark, thank you, Mark. Mark is part of our steering team, and there are a number of steering team, I think they're all here, and made up of about 8 people that get together weekly. And anyway, thank you so much for all your work. Mentioned farmers. One of the ones is going to come up next. It's Adam Van Burkheit. And I'd also like to call Paul Diamond from the CFFO to come forward to say a few words. Adam is a dairy farmer. It produces mountain oak cheese. Please buy it at your local Sobeys.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight and this afternoon. This is wonderful. And I want to give a big hand for the police who guide us in. It's a wonderful event to see what's happening there. Out, we got them in. Thanks for all coming out. So I tell a little bit of our story. We came here 28 years ago to find a place, and we really love this place. And we started with our family here, with 3 children. And my wife actually brought me here. Anyway, so our 3 children are all farming. One is in close to Tilsonburg, and the 2 sons are farming in Wilmot Township. So now the region is trying to accomplish a deal what is unbelievable, and it's so hard to fathom, to understand what's going on. So we have 11 grandchildren. From the 11 grandchildren, the majority want to be farming. And I saw a couple of my grandsons here as well. The other ones are on a 4-H show in Paris, showing their calf. Thank you. So the problem what we gonna have for now is the cropping for in the short term, but also for the long term, because our nutrient management plan, everything is going on the steep hill, and we don't know where it's going. It's unbelievable to have to understand the impact from that, because we get told that we have to leave by October. So I agree with Mark. this is one of the best areas to farm. And knowing, coming from Holland, I'm thankful that we can grow our crops here and feed our cows and make cheese out of that. This whole deal makes our community unsafe. What is going to happen in our community? We don't know. What is coming? We don't know. There are so many questions where we don't have an answer for. And we ask all the councillors, till we have more answers on our questions, not to be a willing host. Because as a farmer and a family man of the family, I care for my family. That's number one. But I'm also a citizen of Wilmot. And I want to be a proud citizen of Wilmot. Don't want to push me away. The last thing I want to say is the crop shredding is such a sin that I cannot imagine. As a farmer, it really hurts my heart. And I see a sign there. There are so many people hungry on the street. This is unbelievable. I cannot understand this whole deal that we spent over $200,000 to damage a crop, because we should try to care for each other. Thank you very much.
Paul? Paul Diamond? Tom Diamond, not Paul Diamond, from the CFFO, for a few words. And then we will have some entertainment with an appropriate song.
Thank you for all to take the effort to be here to listen and so forth. I truly believe that we have a God-given right to farm, to have whole and wholesome family relationships, and not to be pushed around by government in their big, strong-handed ways. Many of the facts and figures have been shared, but do reach out to your representatives that you elected. Have them act on your will, and tell them to send the unfairness of large government, of bureaucratic pencil whipping, back to their desk. We realize there's got to be a balance. There will be growth of city and urban areas. But with that comes the greatest of responsibilities, to balance it with the reality and fact of not taking what's super incredibly well-endowed land and then leaving marginal land in areas that actually scream for development untouched. The fact that there is such representation here shows that this is not going to be swept under the rug. Stand up and fight.
I mentioned, thank you, Tom. I mentioned an appropriate song was going to be coming forward, something with regards to the destruction of the soil and the destruction of the crop. All right. Again, I can do a little.
Yeah, and actually, Al was the inspiration for the one line. What was it? Someone called them bullies. Al was the one that said that. He was part of the inspiration for the song.
Mike, you are the leader of the Ontario Green Party, and And first of all, I need to ask you about like your party. You know, like we can see there are lots of green movement is ongoing, but I have been noticing, but there is no impact on the polls. So why?
Well, I think we're pretty excited. The Green Party's, we've doubled our caucus with the election of Ashland Clancy here in Kitchener Center. So I think there's some excitement happening in Guelph, Waterloo region, where we're seeing a growing green movement. And part of that is we have a provincial government that's attacking the people in places we love in Ontario. That's exactly why we're here standing with the farmers in Wilmot Township, telling Doug Ford, keep your hands off our farmland, starting with the 770 acres in Wilmot Township.
Yep. So what do you expect? So what more would you do, like to push Premier Ford and his government? It means to put their hands off from the farmland. Like it seems like they are not listening at all. In my opinion, I think they may know lesson. You know, like whatever has been done today, if it won't make any impact. So what step are you going to take? Is the member of Legislative Assembly and also leader of the Green Party?
Well, we're going to continue to work with farmers, citizens, the people of this province to build a people-powered movement to tell Doug Ford to keep his hands off our farmland. You know, a year ago, the Premier was set to pave over Ontario's Greenbelt, and a movement of people put pressure on the government until he backed down. That's the exact same thing that's going to happen here in Wilmot Township and across the province. We simply cannot continue to lose 319 acres of farmland each and every day. That's the land that supports our $50 billion food and farming economy, employs over 850,000 people, and feeds us. So if you take away the farmland, you take away the food, and we can't let that happen.
And what do you think? Will the council Waterloo Region Council listen to these folks? And what do you tell them?
Well, I'm hoping that the region and the provincial government listen to what the people of this province are saying. They do not want this land to be expropriated from farmers, and they want farmland protected. We live in a democracy, and this is how people power puts pressure on government to do the right thing and protect our farmland.
And why do you think it is more important for the Ontario government to particularly target this land rather than going any other land? You know, like Ontario is too big. They can go anywhere else. What I spoke with some farmer who said this is the best land in Canada for farming. So why do you think this government is just focusing on the particular land?
Well, I don't think the Premier understands farming, and I don't think he gives a damn about protecting farmland and farmers. Think of how big Ontario is. Only 5% of our land is suitable for growing food. And 0.5%, less than 1% of our land is prime farmland. We simply cannot afford to lose any more prime farmland. And that's why I'm going to continue to fight with the farmers in Wilmot Township and across the province to protect prime farmland.
And what's your message to Doug Ford? And
my message to Doug Ford is keep your hands off our prime farmland. We simply cannot afford to pave over the land that feeds us, that contributes $50 billion to our food and farming economy and employs over 850,000 Ontarians.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Mike.
Absolutely.